We will parachute all the guns of the foe and still get ready. Airborne from skies of blue. Ready to go. And today on Have a Knife Day, it is January 11th. It has sure been a busy start of the 2024 year. So in today's video, we're going to go over the end of year knife purchases, the return of knife projects, and the first knife purchase of 2024. So when it comes to the last purchases of 2023, we come up to the Spyderco Military 2. Now, this is not my first Spyderco Military 2. That would, of course, be this one, and there is already a video for this one. Now, this one was acquired at Blade Show Atlanta in 2023, the first time I went there, and I picked this up from Spyderco directly. And it's a good thing to do because, to be quite honest with you, sometimes it takes a while for Spyderco to distribute their new knives to Blade HQ, Knife Center, etc., etc. Now, here we are with this one, with the black blade, and I also got this directly from Spyderco from their website. One late night, one sleepless night, I was carousing through the internet, saw this, and immediately bought it because everybody else, they just didn't have access to it yet, or they were already out of stock. Whatever it may be, I saw my opportunity and I took it. I have a aftermarket deep carry pocket clip coming in from MXG Gear. I use them quite often, and I have never been this satisfied. So we'll take a look at this. I have to tell you, the blade size on this just really does it for me. Very, very classic knives, in my opinion. So the Spyderco Military 2 with the compression lock is part of my 2024 new project, because I'll be sending these off to Tom Veff here in the future. I'll put these over here. Now, the other last knife purchase of the year is this. Now, this comes from Off Grid Knives. And let me pull something up here. This is the Viper V2 Coyote Tan plus Gray Wash. This is retailing on their website for $110, and that's fantastic because these things are awesome. And this particular modified Tonto tip reminds me of the TV series Deadliest Warrior, where the SEALs used a knife. Well, it was a cold steel Recon 1, and back at that time, it had a blade profile just like this, or incredibly similar. And he went to town on a ballistics gel torso, and it was freaking rock and roll, man. That was so freaking cool. I do recommend. Maybe I'll put that link in the description so if you want something to marvel at and laugh. It was a good show. Now, here's the thing. I've already owned one of these in black. So what happened is, one of the things my wife and I like to do is we like to volunteer at our local food bank. And this was on the Saturday before New Year's Eve. And we were boxing up food for kids and seniors, as often we do. And I found out that one of the people I was working with was a young Marine from 29 Palms. And as the spirit does move me at times, I reached into my pocket, pulled out the black version of this, and I gave it to him along with one of the channel's challenge coins. And in fact, let me pull this out here right quick for you. So I gave him one of my challenge coins. It's just one of those things. I myself do not have kids, but I have taken the opportunity to be a big brother for several people who have joined the military. And one of the things I've always enjoyed doing is making sure that they have a good pocket knife in case they get deployed, or, you know, just throughout the everyday use in the military. So I passed on the fine tradition over to this young Marine. And it was such a nice knife, and I decided to get myself in the Coyote Tan and Gray Wash. And now this one is part of my collection. Now, the other things that I had out that, so that is the last purchases of 2023. Now, for the return of projects, I sent some knives out to Tom Veff. One of which is we have a video of this PM2, Paramilitary 2, with Ripsguard Garage LLC or something like that. I will put links in the description. So this is, if I'm not mistaken, Cordura. It's laser cut, and you can adhere these using their 3M adhesive technology to the scale, so you can change out the look of your knives, and it's a really great thing. So the PM2 has, now has Veff serrations. These are 1/2-inch Veff serrations. Now, Tom Veff, the edgeologist himself, is out of Oregon City, Oregon. And if you ever wanted to send him a knife to have him put in whatever size of serration you might want to into a knife, well, I'll put a link and you can send him pictures. Mind you, he only interacts with people through email. You can't go to his web page or Instagram or Facebook page and send him requests. He just does not work that way. Mr. Veff used to be a butcher, and when it comes to, and this will pull into later on, the only company that is allowed to put in Veff serrations into production knives comes from Columbia River Knife and Tool, CRKT, out of Oregon City, Oregon. And that is also a very busy city because it is also the home of Benchmade knives. There you go. So the plan is to send these over to have Veff serrations put into them. Now, the next knife that came back, it already has a video. Now, this is a Spyderco Military. Now, the military, the thing about the Spyderco Military is that it only comes from the factory tip down carry, which for some people that is perfectly fine. I prefer tip up carry. So I sent this off to Shepard, and once again, I'll put that link in the descriptions. And he made this beautiful carbon fiber scale for tip up carry. This is for only right hand because that's what I am. And he had this really nice little temple tickler, or whatever you want to call it. It's also carbon fiber. It's part of the backspacer. And that's what this looks like with Veff serrations. Now, this is a liner lock. That separates the Military 2 with its compression compared to the original Military with the liner lock. Depending on how which one you like the most, you can still, I don't know how long they're going to keep on making the Military of itself, but you can get yourself a Military liner lock, or you can get the Military 2 with the compression lock, much like the PM2 has a compression lock. So let's all line these happy campers up here. There you go. And there you go. Now, the other thing that came back from Mr. Veff, and this is my one of my favorite knives. And this comes from Fox Knives. And this is the Colonel Motion. So Colonel is short for C-O-L-L-E. Yeah, that's in Italian. I'm not going to attempt that. I don't want to get hit in the face. And Colonel Motion is the name of the 9th Airborne Assault Regiment, which is basically an Italian Special Forces unit, airborne. And it was done in conjunction with Emerson from Emerson Knives. That's why you see this beautiful Emerson wave. And I really particularly care for this one because it is very, very accentuated. It's larger than a lot of the standard ones that come from the Emerson knives themselves. Have my airborne unit laser engraved into this fine titanium pocket clip. This is the large. There is a small, and there are already videos of this out on my channel. So let's pop this open. And unfortunately, they only come with these traditional serrations. But you look over here and you can see the insignia for the airborne unit. I've had this for quite some years. I've carried it, and I really wanted Mr. Veff to put one of his highly polished edges on here. You can see I've sent it to other people before, not to mention my awkward attempts to sharpen it. But for me to get a really good edge as I learn how to do it myself, I can never fail when I send it to Tom Veff. This is a liner lock, and this is no small knife. This is a thick knife that is meant for hard use. It's got plenty of jimping, and it also has the window breaker incorporated into the backspacer. What a fantastic knife. And gee, it even has a sheath so you can carry it like a fixed blade. It has a MOLLE system so you can incorporate it into your kit if you so desire. And it's something that I really, really appreciate, not only for the Emerson Wave, but the fact that it is tied to an Italian airborne regiment. So now we come into the first purchase of 2024. Now, it starts like this. Now, this comes from Crkt. This is the M16-14SFG. And this is a really great knife. It was designed by Kit Carson. And it has multiple geometry, right, left, tip up, tip down carry methods. It has a cross guard, which acts like a wave. And it has the factory installed Veff serrations. Now, you can see the differences because these are put in by hand, one at a time, by Mr. Tom Veff himself. And this one is put in by the factory. And I have the spear point. And this is the one I wear to work every day. And what also is a really cool thing about this knife is this right here. So it's a liner lock. So it acts like a functional fixed blade because of this. So when you pull it back, you can disengage it, utilizing the cross guard. Now, if you don't pull this, and you try to get it to close, it will not close. And that's something that I have always appreciated. Now, I was over at a place called Los Alamitos JFTB. I went on that particular military reservation, passing out some flyers for an upcoming knife show, the California Knife Expo in Brea, California. And that's coming up on the February 3rd, and I'll put a little flyer thing right around there. So I went into the PX and I bought this. This is basically the same knife, but it has the Tanto blade. The really great thing about the M16 series is they have tons of sizes and blade styles and everything. It goes from larger knives to this, to smaller knives, and they have such a great selection to fit your desire. Now, when you get them from Crkt directly, you'll come in a box, but hanging on a wall in a small PX here in Southern California, it comes in a package like this. So this is my first knife purchase of 2024, and eventually it will end up in my daily carry. I had one of these in a box, and I was doing a job. I was moving and assembling some machinery from one city to another, and I got to work with one of my old work companions. We've been doing this for over 23 years, him a little bit longer than me. So it was Christmas, and I decided to go grab my new knife in a box that I carry sometimes in my truck, and I gifted him that because every man should have a knife. That's right. And the joy is in the giving. It doesn't always happen, but when you can, when you feel that spirit upon you and you're moved to do so, well, it is a good thing to do. So here you go. End of the year purchases, the return of end of year projects, the first knife purchase, and these, my friends, will be heading off to Mr. Veff to get some new teeth. That's right there, because there's nothing like seeing a beautiful sparkly smile on one of your favorite knives. All right, please do check out the descriptions for the links. Please, if you're in the area, do check out the Calknives Knife Expo over in Brea on February 3rd. That's a Saturday. That's happening over at the Recreation Center in the city of Brea. It is a really nice venue. I do believe there's going to be around about 50, well, there will be 50 tables. So that's a whole lot of knives, my friend, plus a whole lot of other things. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for supporting the channel. This is a veteran-run channel done by yours truly. We have some really great things coming up for this year. I'll be going to Las Vegas for the Antique Firearm Show, and I'm going there for the Antique Bowie Knife Club presentation and club meeting. I already have my tickets for the third year, the James Black Bowie Heritage Festival, plus many other shows. All right. Thank you so much for hanging in there. It is greatly appreciated. And remember, at the end of the day, Happy New Year and have a knife day.
We will send parachutes on the guns of the forces. Get ready. Airborne from skies of blue. Get in the glow. We're coming. Make the jumps and take your bows today. Let's go put on your boots. Your jumping boots, your parachute. Your parachutes. Get all those gliders ready to attack today. Hook up or we'll be gone. Pouring our jet into the dawn. At station time to fight them all. The 82nd way. Hey!